Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Ticking Together. As always, the goal of this channel is to provide education about and to raise awareness as to what it's like living with Tourette Syndrome. In today's video, I have a super special video for you guys. Grace. Where my friend Falli is going to be interviewed. Falli is an individual from Australia who also has Tourette's like me. And we met on my Discord server, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to provide more education by bringing them to my channel, doing a little conversation interview per se with them. We talk a little bit about their diagnosis story, we talk about how we both experience premonitory urges. It's a really good and educational conversation. I'm really excited for you to meet them, they're super cool. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another wonderful ticker interview for you guys, and I'm super excited for it today. Today we have Falli here, and they are going to introduce themselves to you guys right now.
Hey guys. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited at the same time to be doing this collab. I'm not used to, speaking publicly, so I am diagnosed with Tourette Syndrome. I have been since 4 years ago, since I was 20, so I only got diagnosed when I was 20.
That's very recent.
Yeah.
So
yeah, very recent.
Did you have tics like your whole life and it was just a late diagnosis, or did they come later?
I did have when I started to get really severe tics around 20, I was like, what's going on? At first I was like, okay, cool, this is happening, and then so started to get really severe tics when I was 20, and so I started to think backwards. I was like, did I have any when I was younger kind of thing, because I don't have a very good memory of my childhood. So I was like, okay, let me just think back. And I had very minor blinking tics, and I'd push up my glasses, which I still do with my cheek and stuff. And I had very unnoticeable breathing tics.
Yeah.
When I was younger, and I was like, okay, cool. So I did have, stuff. But I was like, when I was 20, I was like, okay, I kind of just got distracted, if that makes sense, from going to a neurologist for a while.
Yeah.
Because I'd go through periods where I'd only tic for a day or two, and then it'd stop for a little bit, and then it'd start up again. So I was kind of okay, maybe I'm okay, I don't need to go to a neurologist. I was like, okay, I'll just deal with it, and left it for a bit. And then I was having seizures and stuff, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to my normal neurologist, which I already had. I was like, okay, I've had 7 seizures in 10 days. What's going on here? And so they did lots of tests, asked me questions. I wasn't ticking during most of my neurologist appointment, so I'd usually forget to mention it. So I did a few of that, looking into seizures, but nothing happened. The seizures stopped, so they were like, we don't really know. So yeah, and then my tics got way more severe after that period, and to the point where I was unable to do normal things. Eating was really difficult. Just making a coffee, or just the simple life things was becoming really, really difficult.
Yeah.
And I'd have to have like someone with me because I have a a tick that throws me backwards.
Mm.
And I've almost fallen off an escalator.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was so lucky that there was someone like with me that caught me. Otherwise,
Mhm.
like it would have been like so bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah. I started to mention it to my neurologist. I was like, this has been happening. And I was referred to a specialist who deals with ticks and stuff like that.
That's a very
Um,
interesting story because for me, it's very interesting to talk to different people with Tourette's and tic disorders because even though we all come together with the same diagnosis for the most part, all of the stories getting to that diagnosis are so different. I don't know if you saw the video with Mike, Squirrels Wear
yeah.
Fur, but like
Mhm.
he didn't know he had Tourette's until he was in his 50s, and then you found out at 20, I found out at 12. So
Yeah.
it's crazy how it can be kind of discovered in different areas and
Uh,
realms of life. It's just crazy how everyone's so different. And I mean, every case of Tourette's is so different, but it's so interesting to me to hear different people's stories because it can really, I think, help a lot of people that may be experiencing the same story you went through or I went through or Mike went through. That's why I love
Yeah.
doing these interviews with people because I think they can really help people.
Yeah, for sure. I was referred to that neurologist, as I said, and so it was like, first of all, he said it was Tourette's. So I was like, okay, started to do like some research because I hadn't really heard too much about it at
Yeah.
that stage. I
Mm-hmm.
like knew nothing about it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
look into some channels who have Tourette's and stuff like that, and started to educate myself on it. And then I went back to him. It wasn't like a definitive diagnosis at that stage. I
Mm-hmm.
went back to him and he asked more questions and stuff like that. And as soon as I mentioned that I had mental health conditions, he instantly like was saying like, "Oh, it's FND," and I'm like, "Okay, all right. I'm gonna accept, whatever you say," kind of thing. I was like, "Cool, cool, cool." So then I started my own research again into that, because again I knew nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, went back for the last like third appointment, and I was like, "Yep, okay. Like, what do you think?" Because he hadn't like fully like said, you're diagnosed or whatever. So I was like, "Okay, just tell me like straight out, what do you think it is? And whatever it is, I don't care. I just want to know." And he's like, "All right, it could be either." And I was like, oh my God. I got so frustrated. I was like, really? I just want to know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what it is. I just want to know. And so I kind of gave up with him because he wasn't like being 100%. So I was like, okay, I'll go back to my normal neurologist, and talk to him about it. And I did. And then he was the one who diagnosed me with Tourette's. So it was like a
Oh.
whole like
Like a roundabout kind of
yeah,
crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad they finally like gave you a definitive answer because I know how frustrating
Yeah,
that can be. And it's
yeah. I
crazy
was
how many people like deal with that too, how they don't get the definitive answer right away because there's different tic disorders, there's FND, like you were saying, there's so many disorders
yeah,
that it could be. So I'm glad
yeah.
that you got the diagnosis.
Honestly, me too, because like it let me just like relax and be
Mhm.
like, okay, cool. I've got this. Now I know I've got it. I know what it is. I know what it consists of and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, and now I can start like educating, other people on it.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, like where I am in Australia, like not many people like know about Tourette's. It's so weird.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
I've encountered so many people um that have been like, "Oh no, I don't know what Tourette's is." And I'm like, Oh, okay.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So speaking of you wanting to educate people too, which I think is wonderful, did you
Mm.
want to tell the viewers where they can find you on your social media, like a
Yeah,
TikTok or something, just so we can promote your channel so people can follow you?
100%. So on TikTok, it is Fallionas. So I'll just spell it out for you guys. It's FALLIFALLIONAS at
Awesome.
TikTok.
I'll put it on the
Um,
screen here too for you guys. So be sure to give Falli a follow because honestly, they're in the beginning of their kind of education journey. And I want to get viewers for you, obviously, and like followers because the more the merrier. We want to share all of our all of our wonderful
yeah.
followers here at Ticking Together. So please go follow Falli as well. I wanted to talk about, I was just thinking of when you mentioned when your tics were getting worse,
Mm.
how it became harder for you to do like everyday things, like eating and like um, walking up an escalator. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's hard because people don't necessarily realize, and I saw this on your recent TikTok, which is what just jogged my memory. People
Mm.
don't realize that Tourette's is a disability. So
Yeah.
I wanted to talk with you about that a little bit because I feel like we're kind of my tics are very subtle right now, and I feel like yours are a little bit more. I mean, maybe not, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're on different levels of the spectrum right now because I'm medicated. I don't know if you're medicated, but my medication has really, really helped me. And so I'm not super ticky right now. But I did live in a period when my tics were so severe that I also did struggle with that kind of stuff and living normally. So,
Mm.
um, what would you have to say, like, to the viewers, like, is the most important thing you would say regarding, I guess just what you want the viewers to know about how Tourette's living with Tourette's is, like how it's difficult or how it impacts you every day.
Mm. Well, first of all, like I said in my TikTok, Tourette's is a disability. Um, it's something that not only I have to live with, that other like people who have Tourette's also has to have to deal with. But me personally, what if it's a bad tick day like today, like normal eating can be really difficult, so my tick will like um do this with the fork or like throw the food off the fork or stop the fork from going to the food. It can be like a little bit different mode tick wise, so that can take like a while to eat, which can get really really frustrating. For me, I'm like, okay, kind of thing. uh, and sometimes like just normal conversations
Oh
like
yeah,
really
definitely.
difficult. Just like talking to people, and I get so distracted when I tick because I have like this like urge before I do so, so I get really
Yeah.
distracted. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, I can feel this, so I don't know specifically what I'm going to do. I just like feel it, and I'm like, oh, distracted quite easily
Yeah. That's
by
actually
that.
really cool to talk about because like the premonitory urge is what you're feeling and like I feel
Mm.
that too. And I feel like that's something we could also talk about because I don't know if people like without
Mm.
Tourette's like understand that. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
such a
yeah,
weird feeling. So I'll let you
yeah,
continue your story, but after that we'll talk about that too.
yeah, for sure. And yeah, as I mentioned, just like walking, because I have a tick that throws me backwards quite harshly,
Hmm.
and sometimes I don't even know when it's coming, but sometimes when I do, I can, hold on to something and I'll be okay. But the times that I don't know when it's gonna happen, it's quite dangerous.
Yeah.
I could injure myself like on stairs or escalators, all those type of things that normal people can do without having to worry.
Yeah. No, I completely get it. For me,
Yeah.
when I was younger, I don't have this tick necessarily anymore because I'm, like I said, medicated. But I used to be like, I would go on walks with my mom or sometimes by myself, even in my neighborhood. And I would be on the sidewalk, but then I would have a tick that, like, it affected my whole body almost. It was a very complex tick
Yeah.
where I would jerk my neck, I would put my tongue through from my mouth, and then I would lift my leg, but I would also veer off into the street. So, there were some close calls, honestly, where it's like
Mm.
it's so scary because people don't realize Tourette's affects everything. It's not just like, oh, you're ticking
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, so cute and quirky. Like, no, it literally is a disability, as you said. It affects so
Yeah.
many parts of our lives, and it's just, I hope from our videos and from your future videos, people will start to actually realize that, because I feel like on social media, it's been made into quite a joke.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly. I every time like I see like maybe a new movie with like Tourette's in it, or like YouTube videos that go, oh, funny Tourette's, or stuff like that, I get like really annoyed because I'm like, no, sure, maybe like some of the things I say might be funny. Like I don't mind if you laugh with me, but
Yeah,
I hurt myself. Like like that's not funny. It's
yeah.
not. It's not cute. It hurts.
It's
Honestly.
100%. I agree with you. Because, like, I always say the same thing. Like, if you can laugh with me, like, I'm gonna trigger myself. I got rice when I when I say those words.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
always laugh with me, and I'm like, that's fine. I get that it's
Yeah.
funny. But if I'm like punching myself or like
Mhm.
veering off into the street and like putting myself in danger, that's where I'm like, this isn't funny. Like, this is
Yeah.
literally affecting my life so negatively. Like, it's just, I just don't get why people think it's still such a comedic and silly thing when it's honestly impacted so many people's lives. So I understand
Yeah.
that. But I did want to go back to the premonitory urge topic, because I think that that's something that we both deal with, obviously, that we can maybe educate some viewers on, because I don't know if they really know about it. I've made a few videos on it, but maybe there's some new viewers to my channel here. Um, so what does a premonitory urge feel like for you? Like, if you could describe it in terms where someone maybe doesn't experience it, like, what do you think, how would you explain that?
For me, like it can come into like different stages. So, when I'm not in a tick attack, it's like it feels like bugs like crawling on your skin, like little pricks, like kind of ticklish in a way, and when you try, at least for me, when I try to like suppress doing ticks because I feel embarrassed in public spaces, it hurts. Like it feels like a fire like within my body, and and it just makes my ticks like 10 times worse anyway. So I'm like, there's no point
Mm-hmm.
doing it. But for the second version, for if it's like a tick attack, I feel like electricity, like excitement kind of thing going all over my body. It doesn't really like hurt per se. It just feels really weird and very like energetic. Like there's
Yeah.
so much energy that I just have to like get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
No, I
crazy.
literally get it. I just love doing these interviews, because like when I talk to someone who understands, like it's so like, it feels like the craziest thing. It feels like you're in my head, because like that's exactly what I feel too. Like,
Mm,
it's like bugs, or like tingly, or like crawly,
mm,
or like
mm,
burning. And it's like
mm,
in a different, when it's a different spot on my body, sometimes I feel it differently. Like if it's on my back, it always feels itchy and burning. But if it's in my wrists, it feels more like bugs and
mm.
tingling. If it's in my neck, it
Yeah.
feels more like, it's really crazy. But I also get the urge
Yeah.
in my brain too, where it's like, you'll get that feeling in your body, the really uncomfortable discomfort, but you'll also get in your brain like, okay, tick, 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 tick. And
Yeah.
then there's the electricity feeling too, with the more stronger ticks.
Mm,
So it's
mm,
crazy that you use like the exact same words that I use, because like, I don't know, it
mm.
just makes me feel like so happy that there's people that relate to me, and like,
Yeah,
because I don't know, it's really
I
interesting.
get
You know what I mean? Like, it makes me feel
Yeah.
happy, but it's also sad because we both deal with it. But like,
Yeah.
it's so rewarding to find people that like are using the same words I use.
Yeah, I
um,
get you 100%. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But for the viewers out there that are watching this that don't have Tourette's, like, just imagine that. Like, that
Mm,
is kind of our life. Like, every day. Even with subtle tics, you do get the premonitory urge. So our bodies are pretty much always in discomfort or like always in kind of like an antsy mode where we're always like just getting, you know, it's like we're never completely calm. And at least for me, I'm never completely calm. Even when I'm just like lying in bed, I'm always moving. I made a YouTube short on this very recently actually, but I talked about how I genuinely don't understand how people can stay still. Because I was cuddling with my boyfriend and I'm like, okay, you're still, but I'm always moving. And I don't know if it's because of my Tourette's or my ADHD or what the heck, but it's just like maybe the premonitory urge. I've never really put thought into it, but I'm always tingly. So
for me, I can go like a day or two or something without like having any tics at all. And so like I go like, oh my god, like well, have I been faking like this whole time? Every time I don't tick, I'm like, oh my god, like I
literally get it. I get it. And like, that's another thing. That's literally another thing that we could talk about too, because imposter syndrome is a thing. And I feel like at least everyone I've talked to who has Tourette's or a tic disorder experiences imposter syndrome. And it's worse with people online telling us we're faking all the time. But
oh my god,
at the end of the day, like we know we're not, and like we're genuinely diagnosed and all that jazz. But it's just imposter syndrome is a whole different level of like a part of Tourette's that I never thought I'd have to deal with. Like when I was 12 and diagnosed, I never thought I would be questioning my validity at 25. But now it's like online, sharing my story, sharing my struggles. People really come at me and been like, you're a liar. And then I look and I'm like, am I? Like, what?
Honestly, like I don't understand those people. Like it just makes no sense to me. Like I feel like people think that Tourette's is like this taboo or like thing that actually doesn't exist, but like it does. Like me and you and other like Tourette's creators have to deal with it like either on like a day-to-day basis or like every so like often that like it affects everyday life. It affects activities, it affects what you can do. Like I can't work because of my tics and because of like other mental health things, but mostly because, you know, I've got those like destructive like tics, like the throwing back and stuff is too dangerous and stuff. So I can't do, you know, that normal work thing that other people can do. And I just like want people to like understand that fake claiming and that type of stuff can be really hurtful to the community and to people who actually have that diagnosis, or if they're suspecting they're still valid. Like it's not it's a thing, it happens.
No, everyone with tics is valid, and it just sucks that fake claiming has become such a big thing online. It's like not even just for Tourette's, but other abilities too. It's like honestly, I can't even fathom why someone would fake something for whatever reason, but that's a whole other story. I did get a bunch of comments recently, actually. You were talking about how people, I got race, don't believe that Tourette's is a thing. And I got a few comments the other day, but people commenting being like, Tourette's is like made up by like millennials for like attention. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, how is this made up? Like it's in the DSM-5. Like
literally.
It's like this is not made up, you guys. But
and like I think like the viewers have to like ask themselves like before they make those comments, like they need to sit within themselves and be like, oh, how would I feel if I had to, you know, move all the time and have to hurt myself or have to say things that you don't want to say?
Oh, I know.
Like, they just need to think before they comment, honestly.
I feel like people lack empathy nowadays, and that's just what it boils down to. Because like, I was raised as such an empathetic person, and always putting myself in someone else's shoes, and being like, okay, if I was in this situation, how would I deal with it? How can I help this person? How can I, like, that's how I was always brought up, to be very caring.
Same.
And nowadays, I feel like that's just not the case. And people will comment just horrible, like mean things about disorders, and it's just like, where has that empathy gone? Because fake claiming is just, I mean, it's a whole dilemma. But
It is.
so many of us, honestly, I'm sure every single Tourette's content creator at some point will receive it if they haven't yet, because I get fake comments or fake claiming comments every single day, at least 3 of them. I'll say at least maybe 5, like. And I'm not even a huge channel, but because I post about Tourette, it's always the fake claimer ones. And I'm just like, you guys, where is the empathy?
Yeah, exactly. Like the questions in my mind that like is like why would we even like fake like this? Like, if that makes sense, like why would we want to?
Exactly. Who would want this? Like, literally, it's like, why? This isn't something cool. This isn't a trend. This isn't like, oh, you're so lucky. Like, no, it's like, this is honestly like a curse in a way. I just to say, like, I don't like it. I don't think I like it. Like, it's not like we would choose to have it.
Exactly.
Like, why would we be putting ourselves out there online, showing our vulnerable moments? And it's a whole thing. So
yeah, for sure. I think like there just needs to be more like proper representation in the media, or like more people who have Tourette's educating on their disorder and showing more like around the world kind of thing that Tourette's is real. Like I think Tourette's, if I'm correct, I might be remembering incorrectly. Tourette's was like found out like many years ago by by someone who had Tourette's at that stage, and who had, I think, the name of that or something. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not 100% on it, but like, why all those years ago, when there was no phones, no media, no ways of getting attention, why would those people, like, fake, like, have, there's no getting of fame, there's no money in it, there's like nothing, there's no reason, like, even for you, like, there's no reason for you to like do it, like, you don't get money, like, you like, it's just not a thing, like, people think it's people just trying to scam, like, scam you or whatever. It's not.
I know, it's honestly so dumb. But yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, that is kind of, I think the conversation we had can help a lot of people, because everyone with Tourette's, as we talked about, presents differently. Tourette's isn't a joke. It's not something funny. It's a disability. We've really addressed kind of the key terms that I think my channel, and hopefully your TikTok, is trying to get out to the world. We really just want to educate, advocate, provide awareness, because the world needs to know the truth about Tourette's. And so I thank you so much for coming on my channel today. It was awesome to have your input and your story. I loved hearing all about how your Tourette's has kind of manifested for you. I mean, even though it sucks that you have it, I loved hearing the story, because it can definitely help people. I feel like everyone with Tourette's, as I said, has a different story. So it's really cool that you came on today. I'm so thankful you did. Was there anything else you wanted to say to the viewers before we say goodbye? Any last minute, like a tidbit you want to leave with them?
Yeah, honestly, go find Tourette's creators and just honestly spread love and kindness to them.
That's wonderful.
They deserve it.
I think that's so wonderful, and such a true aspect of what we need in this world. We all need a little bit of love and kindness. So find a Tourette's creator, give them a heart on their comment section, give us a heart in our comment section if you're feeling the love, and just spread positivity, because the world is lacking that. So spread positivity, kindness. Thank you so much, Falli, for being here. Again, please go follow them on TikTok. I will link it somewhere down here, and we will definitely have them back on the channel again. So if you'd like to see them back here, definitely leave a comment with some questions or conversation topics for us to talk about. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next time. Goodbye, everyone. Yay, there we have it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, thank you to Falli for being here. If you haven't already followed them on TikTok, please go follow them. I will insert their TikTok name here. Please go follow them. They need all the love and support they can from the Ticcing Together community. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below saying hi to us, telling me what you'd like to see in future videos, or letting me know if you would like to have a Tourette's conversation with me on this channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and ring that notification bell to stay tuned to all of my content here. I would really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, we're learning together, we're laughing together, and we're taking together. Bye!